Good evening to all pro wrestling fans of all shapes and sizes from all around the world. Welcome to another Pro Wrestling Talk video brought to you by Blitzball Champ Gaming here on the YouTube the Tube and while rocking a Carolina Panthers shirt. My name is Blitzball Champ Jason Ingram. So, wanted to get on here and do a double review. First off, I wanted to review WWE's Saturday night main event. And then, gonna switch gears and finish off with the recently finished NJPW Strong Style Evolved show, which was pretty solid all around. We're gonna talk about it. So, let's get started with WWE Saturday night's main event, which took place yesterday, December 14th. This was at the Nassau Veterans Memorial Coliseum in Long Island, New York. Well, technically, I guess Uniondale, New York, but they say Long Island. So, only had 5 matches. Well, technically, apparently there were 6 matches because apparently there was a dark tag match where the Motor City Machine Guns went against A-Town Down Under, which the Motor City Machine Guns won. But yeah, they did a dark match. So, yeah. But let's go ahead, which they did not air. They didn't air that dark match. But let's go ahead and jump right into the action. Starting with this first one. They opened up with a singles match between Sami Zayn and Drew McIntyre. And if I remember correctly, this was Drew's first match back ever since returning. To be honest, it was meh. I mean, it was barely over 10 minutes. But honestly, it really wasn't anything special. I mean, they brawled for a bit. It went back and forth. Both had their share of momentum. But honestly, it wasn't anything special, in my opinion. But Drew McIntyre got the victory, hitting Sami with a Claymore, and then pinning him for the 1, 2, 3. But yeah, Drew McIntyre's back, gets a victory on a PLE. So that's really all I got. I don't really have much more to say on that. Alrighty, let's go to the next match. Here we go. Alright, so the first title match of the card was the Women's World Championship. As the champion, Liv Morgan defended against Io Sky. Now, to be honest, this match was also kind of meh. I mean, it went a little over 9 minutes. But, I mean, the match was kind of meh. Io did her thing with the high flying and, the flippy stuff. But I will say this. I will give Liv Morgan credit. She actually beat her clean. She got her feet up to counter the over the moonsault. And then pretty much hit Io with the Oblivion right afterwards. Which I believe Liv also, she might have suffered a broken nose or I don't know what. But she ate a devastating knee strike from Io's. Almost kind of like a variation of a Kamigoye that Kota Ibushi uses. Very similar. But yeah, she was kind of bleeding a little bit. But looked pretty devastating. But yeah, Liv hit Io with the Oblivion and pinned her for the 1-2-3. But yeah, pinned her clean. So I gotta give her credit. I figured there would have been much more for interference, but Liv beat her clean. Now, of course, after the match, Rhea Ripley came out. And I know they didn't show it on camera, but she ended up going to the ring and carrying Io out because, you know, her and Io are BFFs. But I think this pretty much gives a clue that there's still a chance that Io Sky could enter and win the Royal Rumble. And who knows? But I think they're gonna keep continuing this Liv Rhea feud, and I think perhaps Rhea takes the title from Liv, and then we get Io Rhea at WrestleMania. That's what I'm thinking with Io winning the Rumble. I'm thinking there's a chance that could happen, but the Liv Rhea rivalry's not quite over yet. So, yeah, we got to suffer through that some more. A little bit longer, I guess. All right. Let's go on to the next match. To our next championship match. All right, we had the World Heavyweight Championship on the line. As the champion, Gunther defended against both Finn Balor and Damian Priest in triple threat style. I mean, there was a lot of action with all three. So, I mean, at least that was cool. I mean, if I had to pick a favorite match out of the show, it would probably be this one, to be honest with you. I mean, that doesn't say a whole lot, but you know, I would give it that. I would give it that match. But you know, all three, you know, got to showcase some offense. Even Damian hit Gunther with a South of Heaven chokeslam, and you know, while it seemed like he was in control for a bit, then Finn Balor would fire back. And it was a pretty cool sequence seeing, you know, Damian hit the Razor's Edge and then Finn Balor hitting the coup de grace right afterwards. I thought that was pretty cool. But when it was all said and done, Gunther took out Damian Priest with a powerbomb on the steel steps, and then pretty much went into the ring and took out Finn Balor with a powerbomb and pinned him for the 1-2-3. So Gunther pinned Finn. Damian didn't get pinned. But yeah, Gunther's still your World Heavyweight Champion. But like I said, the match went a little over 11 minutes. But I mean, if I had to pick a favorite match out of this card, it would be that. It would be that. All right. Next match. Let's see. Here we go. Next match. We had the finals to determine the inaugural WWE Women's United States Champion. It came down to Michin versus Chelsea Green. To be honest, not surprised at the outcome. The match went a little over 8 minutes, but not surprised at the outcome. I mean, Piper Niven was in Chelsea's corner, you know, with the assists, and really, you know, tried her best to help out Chelsea. I will say, Michin did eat defeats on both Piper Niven and Chelsea Green. Of course, the only thing was Chelsea Green, rolled over to where the rope was. Was able to get her foot on the rope. But, Michin held her own. But at the end of the day, it was a nice little flip from off the turnbuckle pretty much into the unprettier setup from Chelsea. She plants Michin with the unprettier, pins her for the 1, 2, 3. And of course there was interference from Piper Niven. But with that, Chelsea Green is your first ever WWE Women's United States Champion. Not crazy thrilled about it, but it is what it is. She's the first champion, ladies and gentlemen. So, it'll be interesting to see what kind of run she has. But, yeah, Chelsea Green. And the thing is, these two have a lot of history dating all the way back to TNA Wrestling. So, familiar faces, familiar matchup. But Chelsea Green takes it and is your first ever Women's United States Champion. So. And then what ended up being the main event of Saturday night's main event. The Undisputed WWE Championship match with the actual Winged Eagle belt. The champion, the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes, defends against Kevin Owens. Not really a match I was that invested in. Lasted 12 minutes, but I mean, it's a matchup we've seen before, and just Kevin Owens did some Randy Orton moves, especially on the outside. Even gave Randy Orton a shout out. Hi, Randy. We even saw RKO in the match, and the Cody Cutter, and yeah. But honestly, it really wasn't that spectacular. I just wasn't that invested in it. I really wasn't invested in it. Kevin Owens tried to use a chair, but of course it backfired. I think 2 referees got dropped in this match, so it was crazy. But shout out to Cody Rhodes. When the ref was down, took advantage. Hit a Cody Cutter, took advantage and hit a Crossroads on the chair. And then pinned KO for the 1, 2, 3. Cody Rhodes still your undisputed WWE champion. Afterwards, they didn't show this on camera, but you can find it on social media. But afterwards, Kevin Owens attacked Cody Rhodes from behind and then dropped him with a package pile driver. Took the title, was heading to the back, and then got stopped by Triple H. They did a little bit of shoving and whatnot. So, yeah. And then they had to stretcher out Cody Rhodes out of the arena. So, yeah. Kevin Owens got some heat. But aside from that, I gotta be honest with y'all. The Saturday night main event was... it wasn't that good. It really wasn't that good. Nah, it really wasn't that good. I wasn't feeling it. But it is what it is. But yeah, that's your last WWE PLE of the year. Kind of a very sour note to end that on. I'm just saying. Shout out to Jesse the Body Ventura. He was on guest commentary. He was a host. Well, he was a host. But yeah. I think Mouth of South Jimmy Hart was in attendance. Greg the Hammer Valentine. I don't know who else was, but there was a few folks in attendance. But yeah, the show, meh. Anyway, before we switch gears and finish off with New Japan Strong Style Evolve, here's a quick word on the sponsor of this video, Game Beauty. Check them out. As you continue to enjoy content here at Blitzball Champ Gaming, be sure you take a moment to check out Game Beauty. Beauty inspired by gaming. Game Beauty brings to you video game related makeup and cosmetic products. You have products such as eyeshadow palettes, elemental pearl highlighters, eyeshadow brushes, liquid eyeliner pens by Akideris, and even non-makeup products like graphic tees. They even have special collaboration makeup kits, such as this Persona 5 Heat Wave Brush Single, Metaverse Bundle, and even a Phantom Thieves Limited Edition Makeup Collection. Also remember that Game Beauty provides international shipping of $60 or more. And if you use the promo code BlitzballChamp, all in caps, you can get 10% off of your order. So be sure to use that to your advantage. Now, back to your regularly scheduled video. Enjoy, and thank you. Alrighty, folks. It's time to finish strong. NJPW strong. That is. See what I did there? Alright. NJPW Strong Style Evolve 2024. Just recently happened. December 15th. This took place at the Walter Pyramid in Long Beach, California. And I have to say, this was a ginormous step up from WWE Saturday Night Main Event. I just got to keep it real with you. We did have one pre-show. But it was a solid one. It was actually a very solid pre-show match. Let's get into it. Alrighty, we had ourselves a strong survivor match as Matt Vandagriff took on Zayn J. This was actually a rematch from a couple of months back, as Matt Vandagriff had been on a roll winning these strong survivor matches. I mean, went on a big winning streak and was just very unstoppable. But this time around, we got a different Zayn J, and this was a much more physical Zayn J. And I have to say, this match, for this being the pre-show match, this was a solid match. Went 13 minutes, 22 seconds. Not bad at all. Not bad. And I figured with this being the only pre-show match, they would give them, a little bit more time than usual versus if it were two. So I like that they did that. I at least like that they did that. But this was a good, solid back and forth match, and it seemed like Matt Vandagriff had it in the bag, but Zayn J, with an incredible second win that kicked in and was able to submit Matt Vandagriff with a Boston Crab for the win. And he ends the streak. Zayn J in the rematch ends Matt Vandagriff's streak. So congrats to Zayn J on the big victory. And yeah, did good. Did really good. And like I said, this was a great pre-show match. Alrighty. And then we step in to the main card. Alright, starting off the main card. We had a singles match featuring the ladies. We had Mina Shirakawa versus Johnnie Robbie. It's been a while since I've seen Johnnie Robbie, it seems. I could have sworn I thought she was in the previous NJPW Strong event, but like I said, it's been a while. It's been a good while. This match wasn't that long. It was only 7 minutes 40 seconds. It was the shortest match on the card. That was really the bummer about it. I really wish this would have been a longer match. I think they should have given them at least 10 minutes. So that was really the bummer with this match. Because, I mean, I like Johnnie Robbie. And, of course, I like Mina Shirakawa. I've met Mina Shirakawa twice. But, yeah, this match could have been so much better if it was longer. But only 7 minutes, 40 seconds. Just really took a hit. Mina gets the victory. She pins Johnnie Robbie after hitting a glamorous driver, Mina. So, not surprised there. I figured she was going to get the win. But, yeah, Mina Shirakawa for the victory to open up the main card. And now, next up, we get into our first championship match of the show. We had the Strong Openweight Tag Team Championships on the line. As the champions, the grizzled young veterans of James Drake and Zack Gibson defended against the West Coast Wrecking Crew of Royce Isaacs and Jorel Nelson. Good match. Good overall match between both of these teams. This was 12 minutes, 43 seconds long. But, you know, pretty solid back and forth match. And it looked like Grizzled Young Veterans was going to get the victory exactly the same way of how they beat TMDK. You know, had the GYV towel come in the hand just to rip down what was it? I believe it was Jorel Nelson or Royce Isaacs. It was one of the two. But James Drake grabbed Royce Isaacs. They were getting ready to do grit your teeth. But Jorel Nelson grabbed Zack Gibson, and while he was distracted, Royce Isaacs was able to slip away, roll up James Drake with a schoolboy for the 1-2-3, and the West Coast Wrecking Crew finally have won the NJPW Strong Openweight Tag Team Championships. It's about time. And I know that Grizzled Young Veterans had a short reign, but you know, I've never been a fan of them. But finally, West Coast Wrecking Crew are tag champs in New Japan. Like, it took way too long, if you ask me. Which, I like West Coast Wrecking Crew. I've met West Coast Wrecking Crew. I've met them both through DPW. But, man, it was about time. It was finally about time that they won those tag titles. So congratulations to Royce Isaacs and Jorel Nelson, West Coast Wrecking Crew, on becoming the new strong openweight tag team champions. I'm happy. I was so happy that they won. Could it have been better than a roll-up? Sure, but I'm happy that they won. I'm very happy. After the match, Rocky, Asuka, Romero shows up, gets on the mic, praises West Coast Wrecking Crew on winning, and then proceeds to challenge West Coast Wrecking Crew for a tag title match. Of course, Rocky Romero's partner, Yo, because they're Roppongi Revice. So they challenge West Coast Wrecking Crew for a tag title shot for Battle in the Valley next year, which will be the first NJPW Strong event of 2025, which Battle in the Valley is on Saturday, January 11th. So, we potentially have our first confirmed match for Battle in the Valley for the Strong Openweight Tag Titles, West Coast Wrecking Crew, Roppongi Revice. They shook hands, and as Rocky Romero was getting ready to leave, they stopped him and they attacked him. West Coast Wrecking Crew attacked Rocky Romero, dropped him. So, West Coast Wrecking Crew are heels, so you can't really be surprised. But, hey, that should be a really good first defense for West Coast Wrecking Crew against Roppongi Revice. So, that should be good. But look forward to that at Battle in the Valley, January 11th. I'll be back home from Japan by then. Okay, let's move on to the next match. How about a fatal four-way? Alrighty, we got to see the junior heavyweights in action. Fatal four-way between Clark Connors, Kushida, Kosei Fujita, and TJP. Solid match with all four of these guys. Definitely enjoyed it. This lasted a little over 10 minutes, about almost 10 and a half minutes. 10 minutes, 24 seconds to be exact. But, all four were showcased pretty well. I like all four guys. I've met Kushida, I've met TJP, but yeah, really didn't have any complaints. I mean, it would have been nice if it was longer, but I really didn't have any complaints. It was very action-packed. But the finish was actually kind of cool. TJP sneaks in and pins Kushida with it looked like the Kishi Kaisei that Saki Kashima uses. That's actually what it looked like TJP used. But TJP pins one half of the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Tag Team Champions in Kushida to pick up the victory. So shout out to TJP representing United Empire, picking up a win in this fatal four-way. So, hey, could be some implications there as they are on their way to Wrestle Kingdom. And then again, United Empire, Catch 2-2 has a title shot at Wrestle Kingdom. Now that they're in the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Tag Team title match. So Catch 2-2 are in there. So, and this was overall a nice little preview of that. I don't know if they will do something like this with the other partners of these teams before Wrestle Kingdom, but this was a nice little singles fatal four-way preview. But TJP gets the victory in the fatal four-way. Good stuff. Good. Alrighty, let's move on to the next match. Here we go. All right, so for this match, we had a singles between Lio Rush and Hechicero. I gotta say, this was a pretty dang on good match. This was quite a clash of styles between both of these wrestlers. Very action-packed and lasted 11 minutes, 29 seconds. And you know what? I was actually kind of surprised at the finish. I didn't really know what to expect, but that was a pretty neat finish to this match. And like I said, these two were going at it inside the ring, outside the ring. You know, got to see some strong style, some high flying. It was a good balanced match between both these guys. I enjoyed it from start to finish. But Hechicero pins Lio Rush. He kind of hit a, it was kind of like a head scissor leg drop. It was, I don't know what you call what Hechicero did, but it looked freaking cool. He hit Lio Rush with that, pinned him for the 1, 2, 3. Hechicero with a big victory over Lio Rush. I mean, that was a great match. Pretty impressive finish. Did not expect Hechicero to win. But hey, I dig it. I ain't mad at it. So, good match. Really good match. Alright, let's move on to the next matchup. Here we go. Here we go. Alrighty. We had LIJ versus United Empire tag team action as LIJ's Hiromu Takahashi and Teton went up against United Empire's newest member Templario and Jacob Austin Young. This was actually a really solid match. I loved the showdown between Teton and Templario, and I really liked what I saw from Templario as well. I had never seen him before until now, but dude looked pretty dang on good. He looked good. This match lasted 10 minutes, 34 seconds. Wish it could have been a little bit longer, but this was a pretty action-packed match. And like I said, I enjoyed the showdown between Teton and Templario. Like, I would love to see those two go at it in a singles match. I would love that. But great back and forth match between both these teams. But what a finish from Templario, hitting Teton with a powerbomb backbreaker. Pinned him for the 1, 2, 3. Templario picking up the win for United Empire. Crowns up. Him and Jacob Austin Young with the victory. But yeah, really solid match. Definitely like what I saw from Templario. Looks like to be a great fit for United Empire. But yeah, great match. Alrighty, next up, we had our next championship match. Here we go. Alright, we had the Strong Openweight Championship on the line. As the champion, Gabe Kidd defended against TMDK's Ryohei Oiwa. A solid match, especially for a Ryohei Oiwa. Definitely has been getting better and better, especially with him being showcased in singles matches. This lasted 13 minutes. And a great amount of fighting spirit shown from Ryohei Oiwa. He really hung in there. Was definitely the fan favorite in this match. But, yeah, back and forth. It came close to the point where Ryohei Oiwa was looking to get the pin, but Clark Connors showed up and pulled the referee out during the the count during the 3 count. And it looked like Ryohei Oiwa was at a disadvantage, but Kosei Fujita comes out to attack Clark Connors to help even the odds. But even with that, Ryohei Oiwa just could not do enough to put away Gabe Kidd. Gabe Kidd hits him with a Madman power bomb, or a Madman bomb, and pins him for the 1-2-3. Gabe Kidd, still your strong openweight champion, got on the mic, talked junk to AEW, to the crowd, to Kenny Omega, to all of the above. Just talked mad junk to everybody, which, you know, he's playing up that heel role really well. So you can't blame him. Can't blame him. He's got a filthy mouth, but it is what it is. It is what it is. All right, let's move on to our next match. This next one was a pretty solid match. Check it out. All right, we had some trios action. We had TMDK featuring Zack Sabre Jr., Bad Dude Tito, and Shane Haste. And they took on the combo of Shota Umino and Dirty Works, Fred Rosser, and Filthy Tom Lawler. Very solid trios match between both of these teams. Match lasted 16 minutes 45 seconds, so had a good amount of time. You know, some nice face-offs between Shota Umino and Zack Sabre Jr., which of course, you know, they will be in the main event at Wrestle Kingdom 19. So, yeah, definitely a nice little preview of that. Both teams went back and forth, but I have to say, I was very impressed with the finish. Bad Dude Tito scoring the victory, a big victory for TMDK as he plants Filthy Tom Lawler with pretty much a Steiner screwdriver and pinned him for the 1-2-3. That's right. Bad Dude Tito pins Filthy Tom Lawler for the 1-2-3. Excuse me. Picking up the victory for TMDK. So, hey, shout out to Bad Dude Tito. That was a cool finish. I like that finish. That was a cool finish. Did not expect that, but hey, I dig it. I definitely dig it. I love it. But yeah, solid trios match. Definitely was a lot of fun. But yeah, kudos to Bad Dude Tito picking up the victory for his team. Alrighty, let's go to our next match. Here we go. Alrighty, we had ourselves a special tag team match. Of course, these 4 will be opponents in singles matches come Wrestle Kingdom. LIJ, Shingo Takagi and Yota Tsuji take on the team of Konosuke Takeshita and Jack Perry. A very physical match, which was to be expected. Especially, I liked what I saw with Yota Tsuji, Shingo, and of course Takeshita. You know, kind of going back and forth. You know, the big guys. The big guys. I really don't get the actions of Jack Perry. I mean, slapping hands with the fans and then the heel-like tactics and throwing water on the fan. I don't get that. I really don't get that. But whatever. Pretty physical match. But Jack Perry gets the pin on Yota Tsuji Well, first he hit him with a low blow. You know, the ref was distracted. Hit him with a low blow. Then took him out with a running knee strike. And then pinned him for the 1, 2, 3. Takeshita, Jack Perry are your winners. But it did not end there. As after the match, you know, they kind of brawled for a little bit. But after the match, the Young Bucks show up and pretty much took out LIJ. You know, even Hiromu was there, took him out, and then even hit him with a BTE trigger. But yeah, Young Bucks show up, clean house. So, yeah, quite a statement made. And don't forget, you know, they have a shot at the IWGP Tag Team titles at Wrestle Dynasty. So, something to keep in mind. But yeah, and you know, they appeared on the last NJPW Strong event they did, if I remember correctly. So, or it may have been a while back. Somebody refresh my memory. But okay. And then the main event of Strong Style Evolved 2024 came down to this. We had the NJPW Strong Women's Championship on the line. In an instant classic, the champion, the CEO, Mercedes Moné, defended against one half of Fukuoka Double Crazy from Stars and Stardom, Hazuki. Wild Heart Hazuki. Now, the main event, this lasted 26 minutes and 36 seconds. Let me go ahead and say this. I know a lot of people in the IWC do not like Mercedes Moné. Totally understandable. I know she's had her share of bad matches. But let's take the fandom out. Just for a moment. Let's take the fandom out. Let's take the hatred out. Let's keep it real, y'all. That was a good match for Mercedes. Sure, Hazuki may be the better wrestler. I'll give her that. But you cannot tell me that that was a trash match for Mercedes. Now, come on now. Let's be reasonable. Let's be reasonable. Mercedes can have 20, 40, 50 bad matches in a row, but she will occasionally have a good solid match. And this was one of them. Hatred aside, let's be reasonable. That was a dang on good match between Mercedes and Hazuki. Let's keep it a buck. This went back and forth. A lot of near falls. Both hitting their finishers. Well, I guess with the exception of the brainbuster from Hazuki. But they both hit their signatures and finishers and all that. It went back and forth. And once they announced 25 minutes left, I honestly thought it was going to end up being a time limit draw. Because it was only a 30-minute time limit. When they announced that they had reached 25 minutes and that there were 5 minutes left, I was just like, oh man, this is going to be a time limit draw. But this was great back and forth. My big complaint was I think Mercedes needs to get rid of that moneymaker. Because the way she hits it, it doesn't look clean. It looks botched every time. I think she needs to either go back to just doing the, the bank statement? Well, it has a different name. Something payment. Oh, down payment? I think it's called the down payment now. But Yeah, that moneymaker, I think she needs to replace that with something different. I think she needs to get rid of that finisher. It just, she doesn't do it that well, and it just doesn't look clean. I think if she can ditch that finisher, get something better, something that's a little more clean, maybe something simpler, then I think she would do a lot better. But yeah, both times she did that moneymaker, it didn't look good. It looked rushed, and it did not look clean. So that was really my only complaint. But aside from that, this was an instant classic. This was a great match. And like I said, I know, I can't say that I'm a crazy fan of Mercedes. I get it. But let's keep it real, y'all. Fandom and hatred aside. Just focusing on the match. All that aside, that was a dang on good match. One of Mercedes' best. Like I said, I can understand she may get on a streak of bad matches, but occasionally she will have a great match. She did it with Hazuki. She did it with Mayu. I'm just saying, like, I understand plenty of folks out there aren't fans of her. Totally understandable. You have that right to feel that way. But can we at least be reasonable? At least be reasonable and say that that was at least a good match. Or at least one of Mercedes' better matches. I'm just saying. I'm not even a big fan of her. But I can at least accept when I see a good match. Example, I don't like Tiffany Stratton. I can't stand the Bimbo Barbie. But she does one heck of a best moonsault ever. And to this day, better than Christopher McDaniels. Or Christopher Daniels does so far. She's very athletic, very agile. I'll give her that. And I don't even like Tiffany Stratton. At all. But I'll give credit where credit's due. Most of y'all that know me know that I am not a fan of Pokemon. Never have been, never will be. But I at least respect and acknowledge that it's very popular. And it makes a lot of money. Pokemon toys, Pokemon video games, Pokemon cards. And I can't stand Pokemon. But I can at least acknowledge that it is a success. I'm just saying. It's already bad enough that Mercedes gets a lot of hate, a lot of bashing. It is what it is. Y'all can feel how you want to feel. But can we at least be reasonable? With this particular match, specifically this match, that this was one of her good matches. We can at least be reasonable. I'll leave it at that. Mercedes gets the pin on Hazuki after a second moneymaker. Well, she did a couple of backstabbers and then a moneymaker. But overall, it took a second moneymaker to put Hazuki away. Pinned her for the 1-2-3. Mercedes, still your strong women's champion. After the match, Mina Shirakawa comes out and challenges Mercedes Moné. She wants that NJPW Strong Women's Championship. But Mercedes wants to up the ante. She wants Mina Shirakawa's Rev Pro Undisputed British Women's Championship. So, how do they settle this? The challenge has been made for Wrestle Dynasty, Tokyo Dome, January 5th. Mercedes Moné versus Mina Shirakawa, double title match involving both the NJPW Strong Women's Championship and the Rev Pro Undisputed British Women's Championship. And then they both had a dance-off, which was kind of funny. But hey, at least, you know, they didn't attack each other, so at least that was cool. But the sad thing about this, Mercedes has the opportunity to become a triple champion. Because remember, she's still the TBS champion on AEW, and she just retained the Strong Women's Championship. So she will have the chance to walk out of Wrestle Dynasty with 3 titles. Ooh, man. Not really looking forward to that idea, but just be prepared for it, because it could happen. It could happen. I'm just saying. Anyway, great show. Tons better than Saturday night's main event, for sure. So, but that will close out the year for NJPW Strong on Strong Events. But, yeah. That's all I have for this video. Don't forget to check out Game Beauty when you get a chance. And let me know what y'all's thoughts were on WWE's Saturday night's main event. And what did you think of NJPW's Strong Style Evolved? Let me know your thoughts. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and hit that notification bell while you're at it. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed this video. For another Pro Wrestling Talk, brought to you by Blitzball Champ Gaming here on the U to the 2. My name is Jason Ingram. Hope y'all have a blessed start to the week, and I will see y'all in the next video and or live stream. Peace. Later.